The Odyssey explained what Christopher Nolan's 2026 movie is about. The Odyssey is Christopher Nolan's next movie, which should be exciting for fans of epic cinema. Christopher Nolan has established himself as one of the most prolific directors of the 21st century. Nolan's films range from underrated sci-fi films like Interstellar, introspective biopics like Oppenheimer, and the blockbuster thrills of the Dark Knight trilogy. This highlights the British director's range and versatility. Regardless of the subject matter, Nolan brings an epic sense of scale to his films, often bolstered by his use of cutting new technology. After finally winning an Oscar for Oppenheimer, audiences around the globe have been eagerly awaiting confirmation of his next film. For months, stars have been circling the mysterious project, which was rumored to be anything from a film focused on helicopter pilots to a story about vampires. However, it's now been confirmed that The Odyssey will be Nolan's next movie, giving Nolan the chance to helm a historical epic. Christopher Nolan's next film will be The Odyssey, an adaptation of the ancient Greek epic. Making his debut in 1998 with a British crime thriller following, Nolan has directed a dozen films to consistent critical acclaim and box office success. Nolan has become one of modern Hollywood's most iconic and important directors, finally earning his first Academy Award for Best Director with 2023's Oppenheimer. For his next film, Nolan is looking back to one of the foundational pieces of modern storytelling. The Odyssey will be a new adaptation of Homer's Greek epic and will be specifically filmed, as with many of Nolan's films, with IMAX in mind. The film will continue Nolan's collaboration with Universal Pictures, who financed and distributed Oppenheimer to massive success following 2 decades of work with Warner Bros. Set for release on July 17, 2026. The Odyssey has been teased as a mythic action epic shot across the world using brand new IMAX film technology. The Odyssey will be based on Homer's epic poem of the same name, which focuses on Odysseus. King of the island Ithaca, the brilliant Odysseus was crucial to the Greek victory in the Trojan War during the events of the Iliad. Before he could return home to his wife Penelope and son Telemachus, Odysseus enraged the god Poseidon by blinding one of his Cyclops sons and found himself wildly off course. Lost across the sea, Odysseus faced several monstrous and enticing threats while struggling to return home. While most of the Odyssey is focused on his encounters with creatures like the Cyclops and the witch goddess Circe, the story also features the struggles faced by Penelope and Telemachus in the decade that Odysseus is missing at sea. The epic poem has inspired countless retellings and has remained a fixture of storytelling for thousands of years. This sets up the idea that Nolan's take on the story could be the director's most epic film yet. Even before the subject of Christopher Nolan's next movie had been confirmed, the film was already attracting an all-star cast. At the time of writing, Matt Damon and Hathaway, Tom Holland, Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Lupita Nyong'o, and Charlize Theron have all been confirmed to be part of the cast. Their specific roles have not been confirmed yet, however. The sheer scope of the story also suggests that plenty of other actors will join the film. According to Deadline, Nolan's The Odyssey is expected to begin filming in early 2025, with eyes on a 2026 release. This reflects Nolan's typical working schedule, especially in the last decade. Interstellar, Dunkirk, Tenet, and Oppenheimer were all released 3 years apart, and The Odyssey is scheduled to debut 3 years after the debut of Oppenheimer. The Odyssey has been brought to the big screen before, including 1954's Ulysses starring Kirk Douglas, the 1997 miniseries The Odyssey starring Armand Assani, and most recently in 2024's The Return starring Ralph Fiennes. It's also served as the inspiration for several films and TV shows across various genres, including Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?, Cold Mountain, and Star Trek: Odyssey. However, Nolan's track record with epic filmmaking and skill with utilizing IMAX technology suggests a film capable of matching the epic heights of the original poem. Nolan's talents as a director should be on full display with The Odyssey, as the story explores the trauma and dangerous hubris of a brilliant hero. It's a theme that's appeared in several of Nolan's other movies and will write it home in The Odyssey. The IMAX technology should also be ideal for truly showcasing the scope of the epic and will likely be a massive visual showcase. Given the pedigree of the cast and creatives on board, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey is on course to be one of the biggest films of 2026.